This is Chris Roberts with MTBS-TV here at CES 2019. I'm joined by Joseph Sahun, who is the president of Earthquake Sound. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for saying my name properly. Wow, I'm impressed. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I had the opportunity to try out the simulator that you guys have going here. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. Well, we joint venture with SimX regarding making a nicest simulator that brings stuff to reality. So we brought in a lot of new technology in the simulators. My son Alexander here, who actually brought in the computer support and everything. Say hello and introduce yourself, please.
I'm Alex. I'm an engineer here at Earthquake Sound. I was in charge of contacting Sim Experience here and doing a collaboration to bring kind of the tactile feedback to virtual reality and gaming in general. We've always felt that gaming is kind of moving more towards virtual reality, and while visuals and audio is covered, we felt that it's kind of lacking in the tactile feedback, and so did Sim Experience, so we decided to kind of bring that to the product they already offer. So what we have right now is we have 4 of our tactile transducers, the MQB1s, simulating bumps in the road, any impacts, anything outside of the car, and we have our big one, our Q10B, on the back of the seat, basically simulating transmission shifts, engine RPMs, so you kind of get the whole all-inclusive virtual reality experience as if you're there. And we kind of want to branch out and bring that not just to gaming, but to more of the virtual world, because like I said, it's kind of lacking in the tactile feedback department. And here at Earthquake Sound, we're the leaders of tactile transducers, and we feel like we could kind of expand in the gaming industry as a whole.
I wanna share one more thing with you.
Sure.
So we're not new to the business of VR and making 4D and 5D stuff. Earthquake Sound have been actually in contact and doing business with the US Army Research Lab to do simulations and to do active system for vibration, anti-vibration, for tank stabilization, for helicopter. We've also done system with similar motor to the shaker you have here that used in smart bomb, used in IED mitigation. So the reason the government came to us is because our ability to use magnetic correction and magnetic placement that is so precise that is used in the Army research. So all of our equipment is basically reduced military stuff into consumer product based on what the government allows. So all of these shakers are magnetically stabilized, moving through electromagnetic system.
Okay, so let's talk about the shakers a little bit. And a system like this, as far as like the transducer effect, it seems like there's 3 primary components. You have the transducer speaker itself, amplifier, and then the software that runs and coordinates the whole system.
Yeah.
So are you guys doing all 3, or the speakers and the amplifiers, or what's the components that you're bringing?
For this design, we've only done basically the hardware for the computer and some of the software, my son, and the rest is software is SimX. And also what we did is the actual hardware that the amplifier, audio, and the tactile.
Okay.
So yeah, like you said, we're making the amplifiers. We're using our XJ1000, our XJ700 to power all 4 or all 5 transducers. And while we could have just gone with audio and just had them going off of an audio signal and just going within a certain frequency range, Sim Experience let us know that they make a program called SimVibe, which basically is fed telemetry data from the game like iRacing and converts it to audio signals. So things that wouldn't normally be audible, like road bumps, are translated into a frequency and are then sent to our amplifier, which in turn powers it up for our transducers. And that's kind of what's going on here. So while you could have it go off of a standard audio signal like we were using in our booths for our movies and traditionally in our game booths, we thought, why not take it to the next level? We're using virtual reality. Why not have that actual feel that wouldn't otherwise be there if you're just using an audio signal? So we're using SimVibe to get that otherwise lost signal and send it to the amp, like I said, and then to the transducers. And what that does is we can add things such as road noise, wind noise that you really wouldn't hear otherwise to kind of give you that feel. We had to kind of turn it down here for the booth because we found a lot of people might have been a little overwhelmed with the virtual reality, the sound, the vibrations, the motion. So we dialed it back a little bit, but we were cranking it up earlier in the show and your eyeballs would be shaking, which is somewhat realistic. If you're in a race car, your eyes are definitely shaking, but most people aren't used to driving a race car, so we had to dial it back a bit, but it can definitely vibrate you to the point where you won't even be able to drive. But like I said, it's all about finding that balance, and that's what SimVibe allows us to do, and that's kind of what the fine-tuning over the past several months I've been in charge of kind of setting up, getting everything balanced, getting all the effects that we want balanced, and even then we could do even more. We can expand on this even more, and that's what we plan to do in the future.
So personally, I'm really enthusiastic about sim racing, and it's sort of become my hobby over the last few years. So I was excited to talk to you guys because I think for me personally, transducers are maybe one of the next things that I'm going to be looking at for my rig. One of the questions that somebody asked me to ask you is about amplifiers for this kind of system. Is any sort of standard audio grade amplifier satisfactory, or are there like frequency ranges or things that you need to be careful about, like driving a subwoofer? You want something different than, you know, a general?
It depends. So for the 4 small transducers, they're each getting fed different signals. The 4 transducers, one is representing each wheel, if you will, or each corner of the car. So for that kind of setup, those 4, you need at least a 2-channel amp for each pair, because they're each getting their own signal. For the big one on the rear, we just use a mono block. So it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get kind of that unique signal for each transducer, you need at least one 4-channel amp if you're going to do 4 transducers, or 2 2-channel. And we're using two channels here just because we kind of want that overhead of power delivery. Like I said, we can crank them way up, and that might even be overkill for what we're doing.
I would like to add one thing. You know, we are a little bit biased because we love to shake the heck out of you. Right. So when we were building this in our factory, we have several products that would work for it, and that's why I want to share this with you. If you're gonna do this, guys, you're gonna have to use Class D amp. You don't want any heat, any byproduct. You don't want to be going out with product that failed. Yes. So we use all of our circuit that we use are Class D high efficiency, over 90%. Now our shakers, I mean, we didn't know what SimX is accustomed to, and since we are magnetic system, so we don't clunk and make noise. You don't actually hear the tactile. You actually feel it. Right. I wanted to kill them, because I wanted to use nothing but earthquake, you know. And I tested the small one. It worked excellent for the side. Then they have an idle circuit that when the engine is idling and it does shaking like that, misfiring, you can feel the V8. I put the Quake 10B, I made the mount for it, and we tested. We were worried that they're not impressed, so we put in big stuff. So as soon as the SimX engineer and software guys came in, he said, your stuff is too strong, it's gonna make the vibration in the video, people can't race. Since we only sell vibration stuff, so I said to myself, you know, I gotta, okay, we dialed it back, as Alex said. So literally we can do this for any of you listening that is interested. We will make it with a smaller shaker simply because it shakes a lot more than we need.
Well, it's very exciting to see, bringing another dimension of the immersive experience into VR, and for sim racing specifically, I think is a killer app for that kind of thing. Yeah. So thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed it, because you drove like much better. First of all, when I drove it, I thought, I hate this. Yeah. But you drove it. I was standing here taking video of you. It was amazing how you drove.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks.
Okay, Chris Roberts from MTBS-TV. We'll certainly be back with more. Thanks for watching.